Hey, Omar. I'm awesome. How are you? Thank you, Omar. Appreciate it. Patrick Pierce. Yeah, I hit up Jessica, like, hey, we're doing a live tonight, right? Because she was like, we're doing this. Like yesterday, she said that she can't keep anything down. She's barfing. She feels terrible. So I told her that's bullshit. You're going to be on the live anyway. Obviously, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she feels bad, but she also feels really bad. So she's like, I've only eaten from home. I don't think it's food poisoning. I don't know what it is, but she feels really sick. So maybe she's just sick of me. I would be. Yeah. And it's really hot out here because, you know, me and Jessica, we live in the same place, so it's been like 100 degrees today. And she's got kids all over the place, a little, like, what, 6-7 month old baby. So it's not fun for her. Sorry, I'm just still getting kind of prepped here. It is 8 p.m. where I'm at.
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
Fatal J. Fatal J been reading a lot of Red Sonja comics lately. How you doing, Fatal J? I've never really read any actual Red Sonja comics. I got a collection of Conan with, like, what some people told me is one of the best Red Sonja stories ever. Some old classic story. I have yet to read it. Steven Yanis, what it do? What it do? Fatal J. I know, I hear people talk about that a lot. Worf always getting his ass handed to him, or Worf always getting shut down in conversations. And I like that you know that I'm listening to Star Trek music. Or at least I assume that's what it is. But see, the thing with Worf, in terms of getting his ass kicked, well, they always had to have the strong guy, so when some villain shows up, we can have the villain beat the strong guy to show how tough the bad guy is. And so it does end up kind of making Worf kind of look like a dumbass on occasion, but they rectified that shit on Deep Space Nine big time. Worf got the best character development he ever had on Deep Space Nine. Yomar de Jesus, can you teach me how to get better at drawing? Like, how do you know? Yomar, honestly, brother, it's just practice, man. There's no secret, really. It's just find an image and draw it. Like, draw from life, find a figure, draw it. Draw a bodybuilder, draw a hot girl, draw an old man, draw a kid, draw, and then when you're done, keep drawing. Draw buildings and cars, and you start putting it together. Like, you just get better. And that's, maybe that's boring, but there's no secret. There's teaching that can be done, more like guidance, but an artist can get as good as they can possibly be if they just sit down and draw all the time. That's what you have to do. Yeah, Fatal J, Deep Space Nine, they showed him respect. I think even Michael Dorn, the actor himself, said, he loves his time on Next Generation, but his character of Worf got due credit and development on Deep Space Nine. Like getting married. Poor Worf's romantic life is a freaking nightmare. See, Fatal, that's actually an interesting statement. You feel like anyone can draw, they just have to put in the time. I actually don't agree with that. I know of people that have said that, but I really honestly think the ability to sit down and put pencil to paper and construct a figure and do it in repeating different ways, there has to be that inborn, indefinable quality that a creative person has. It's like not everyone can be a musician. Not everyone can compose music, no matter how much schooling you have. Like, I can draw, and my younger brother can draw, but my older brother, no matter how much he practiced, he would never, ever, ever be able to draw. He could, learn some basic fundamental tricks and get a little better than he is. But, I think, artists and creatives have to have some kind of special innate trait call it luck, genetics, God-given, whatever. And then, of course, then the next step is the discipline to follow through on it, of course, like you're saying. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. And I promise I'm not trying to be contrarian to you, Fatal. It's just, yeah. I've had arguments and conversations with other people where they're like, anybody could learn to draw if they just practice. I'm like, no, not really. Yeah, I hear you, Fatal J. Yeah, he didn't read comics, but once he got into it, he's like, you develop that talent. Fatal J, man, how's your channel going? I see you posting on the regular, of course. You got a sizable channel over there. Wasn't it like 10,000 subscribers? That's awesome. Fatal, you say you take, what about styles? You take eyes, nose, lips, bodies from your favorite artists and put it into one. I honestly think that's every artist, every comic artist. We all look at and see what's done and what looks good. We all try to replicate it or emulate it, and then maybe try to do an alternate version of it that looks awesome, you know. I think we all do it. I know I do. You're turning into a reaction channel, just having fun? That's awesome. What was your original kind of plan for the channel, Jay? Like you say, you're turning it into a reaction channel, but did you have an original, like, goal? Like, was it like a review channel? You started off ranting about stuff you didn't like and got burned out doing that. You just want to have fun. You're going to react to comic books soon, but the old ones you love from the 90s, hey, I know what that's like. I just, on a whim, just started like, I'm like, ugh. I just always thought about doing a YouTube channel, and I'm like, well, I'll just talk about the comics that I own, that I bought, and it's been sitting around forever. And, which is mostly 90s stuff, and there's certainly an audience for it. It's the only explanation I can get for why I've got any kind of viewership. I'm at 5,200 subscribers, and that's just unbelievable to me. But there's an audience for that stuff. And then presentation is key. Though I don't know how my stuff works because I got zero presentation. I just start talking. Yeah, Adam Brooks, not really interested in modern comics. I mean, it's a rarity when there's something new that comes out. I'm like, oh, I want to read that. And if it is, it's just usually because I love the person drawing it. And then I have the audacity to sit here and make a book and like, hey, I don't want to read other people's shit, but hey, read mine. So I guess I just better do the best I can. Jay, you're asking, is my channel influenced from Cartoonist Kayfabe? What I mean, where you can, you can go through each page from the down view on the camera. I mean, I guess honestly, yeah, I've been watching them for a couple of years, and I mean, I had originally had thoughts of doing a YouTube channel talking about how to draw, like how to make comics. Here's the pencils I use. Here's how you draw a figure. Here's how you ink, at least my amateurish ass, the way that I do it. And then, so I always wanted to do that, and I've done a few things like that. But then I'm like, I just kind of want to talk about comics, and I couldn't help but be influenced by the Cartoonist Kayfabe guys, but I try to remember that, like, those are working professionals that have a deeper knowledge than anything I will ever have. Even separate from the being working professionals. They talk about books that they were collecting that I've never even heard of. Like, their interest deviated from the 90s crap real fast. They talk about how they loved Liefeld and X-Force, but they got bored of it real fast and started looking for other stuff. And I just kept collecting the same shit. So those guys got knowledge far surpassing so many other people. So I did listen to their presentation and what they talked about, and it was certainly a huge influence. I don't know I hope it doesn't come across as like I'm trying to crib their style or something, because it would certainly be nothing but like a cheap imitation from these very smart, very educated guys. But they talked about a lot of stuff that inform what I talk about. Paper and storytelling, and yeah. Yeah, I had someone tell me a while ago that what they liked about my channel is that to them it felt like they were just having a conversation with one of their buddies about comics. And they're like, that's what I like. Like, you're not trying to sell us anything. You're not trying to push anything. You're just like, this is the comic, and this is what I like, and this is what I don't, and this is what I thought was funny, and it reminded me of this, and I don't know what this ever meant. But they said, it just sounds like I'm having a conversation with my buddy about comics. And I took that as a big, like a big compliment, personally. So I just kind of lean into it. And then I've kind of intentionally avoided worrying about doing big editing stuff, because I just kind of like, my format is I just turn it on and I go. I've ran in some other channels where I shut it off, because We're 3 minutes into the video and they haven't even started talking about the subject matter that is in the title. And I'm just like, good Lord, I am done waiting. So I just like, let's get into it immediately. So I just kind of, taken people's, I have asked. I'm like, why? I've been on live streams and I've asked people that have been watching my channel. I'm like, why do you like my channel? What do I bring that makes people come back to me? Adam Brooks, you say, yeah, after being honest, I was a kayfabe addict for years, and when it went on hiatus, your videos came up on my feed. I started watching the first one, and I thought, this probably isn't for me, but I came back, and I kept coming back. That's always kind of funny when somebody's like, yeah, I'm not into this. This shit is not what I'm looking for, but, I don't know what it is. Somehow I've made a connection with some people, and I can barely believe it or understand it, and so I'm really grateful for anybody that, has stuck around. And I do feel like there's a little bit of one of the unique things is that I am here drawing and making my own stuff too. I'm not just a guy talking about comic books. I'm actually making them too. ZK yelling my name. How's it going? Yeah. How's it going? Yeah, Adam Brooks. First time you watched a kayfabe video, you thought this was going to be terrible. It's a video of check out the comics we bought at the quarter bin. So yeah, I get that, Adam. Because the kayfabe guys would talk about books I'd never heard of, and I was initially only interested in the shit I was familiar with. But I would just, all right, well, I'll just turn it on. And then just their conversations about process, who this artist is, what they've done, how they've done it. Even though I'd never heard of them, I was like, wow, I'm learning stuff. And I'm learning things I would have never learned otherwise. So that was one of the big things I liked about the kayfabe guys. Well, thanks, ZK. You love seeing me on the feed. Always hop in for a bit. Well, thank you. I appreciate it very, very much. That makes sense, Adam. The whole that me and the kayfabe feel is that we all grew up in this approximately the same time, read the same books, and didn't have too many people to talk with about that. Yeah, I get that. I feel that. Hey, what's up, someone saying, and Kevin. Yeah, it feels like the familiar friend I never had in the early 90s. Yeah, I hear ya. Thanks, ZK. I appreciate it very, very, very much. You generally can't talk about Liefeld or Silvestri and Dale Keown in like everyday life. Yeah. I got like my brothers, And then I got like one or two guys that I know from high school, but I don't see them. I think someone saying we're talking about like there's no one to talk to them about in like real life, in your daily life. So that's why channels where people do like what I do, it feels like you're talking to a friend that has the similar interests. You know, that's what I'm saying. I've got a couple buddies from high school that I never see, and yeah, you see what I mean. That's kind of where the conversation was going. Or I run into these new hipsters that are only read modern comics because of like the Marvel movies or something, and you know they're reading comics and that's fine. Like they appreciate it and they like certain things about it, but they don't know the history of the art form. You know, I remember this one dude I was talking to in at work, and he was trying to tell me about the history of Captain America and the things he's been through because of something he saw on an animated show 10 years ago. I'm like, that's not the comic book origins. He's like, it's not? Then why is it in this cartoon? I'm like, it's there. They do alternate versions of everything. Yeah, I'm awesome. You're not. I keep running to like even on like YouTube. I see these comic book channels, and then I'm like, well, let's see what they're talking about. They're holding up a copy of an issue of something, something, whatever, whatever, and all they're doing is talking about the value of it. It's been slabbed. It's been graded. It's been this. I'm like, you're not talking comics. You're talking about the value of this thing. And I'm like, instantly, I'm like, I'm not talking to you about anything. If you look at comic books as like a hobby to invest in for money, then we're done. I'm done talking to you. I got nothing to say to that person because it means something else to me. Yeah. So I'm going back and Nate, brother, Tyraz, yeah, Jessica's puking her guts up. So she couldn't make it. So I try to make that part of the quote unquote value of my channel is like I'm just trying to talk about, if nothing else, the what I like about the art, even if the story is so boring that I can't stand reading it. But or if the art is so unbelievably god awful terrible, I will, get on my high horse and talk about why this art is so atrocious and why did somebody think that this is good. But talk about the craft and what works and what doesn't. Fabrizio Aiello. Slabbed books are like chastity belts. No fun. Oh, man. Yeah, someone saying a comic's value to me is how well it entertains me. 100%. 100%. That's part of why I put myself out here with my own crappy comic stuff, is to be like, I'm trying to apply what I feel like I've learned and apply what I preach as far as what's quality. And I'm not gonna, I'm no professional. No one's hiring me to do no damn thing. But I'm trying to make something good, and I'm trying to make something entertaining. And I, make my work available, and so people can, I would actually, I feel like I'll have made it when I run into some YouTube channel where somebody's got my book and they're reviewing it and telling me and saying it fucking sucks. That would actually make my day big time. I'm not gonna lie, I would feel a little hurt, but I can get over that real quick. How do you say modern media is a funny thing because you get weirdly invested in the YouTuber podcaster and you start rooting for them, like you're stoked to see me finish this volume? I appreciate that. I feel like there's a little bit of like there's a small audience of 20 to 30 people that have been watching me draw this thing from day one and have kind of been on the journey with me, and it's just kind of inspiring. There's a little part of me that's microscopically melancholy because I'm on the last couple of pages of the art, and I'm like, I'm gonna be done with this thing. I'll never be drawing these characters again. The story will be done, and I'm gonna move on to new things. But it's like this little chapter in my life that I've been sitting in this room drawing for the last couple years since I got divorced and moved out and just sat here, and this is like my little therapeutic thing, is like processing the end of one existence and being single and on my own and back into living on my own again. I just sit here and been making this story, and it's like I'm done. It's moving on. Gaten. Rob's goal is to have someone hate on him, right? I do get that in the comments, yes, but I would like to see, it would be amazing to have some video I run across where somebody's reviewing my actual book, like they got a copy of it. Like, man, fuck this guy for ruining He-Man. Fuck him. That would be great. Adam Brooks, you came for the 90s Liefeld reviews and you stayed for the page-by-page comic production. I am awesome. No, I have not. I mean, Chuck, if you know, sorry, I'm assuming I know most people familiar with me and Chuck working together. We are going to discuss what we might want to do together after this and see what we can kind of come up with. So I know what I was going to do, but with Chuck involved, it kind of changes up the possibilities and what, so we're gonna, once this is done, we'll discuss what we're gonna do and how we want to approach it and see if we can make something work. And I think we can. I think we will. I think it'll be a interesting time. I mean, for me, for sure. Yeah, Tyraz. People might be interested and want to go buy the book and see if it's actually shit. I'll take it. What do they say? There's no such thing as bad press. You know, and all it takes, honestly, is like one person with a big audience to put your name in the focus and be like, hey, go check out this person. And it can move the needle for a person. Like when the kayfabe guys, you know, when they put a book under the microscope, like that guy, Kurt Burdick, who does those Death of Power books, like I guess Piscore hit up Kurt Burdick and sent him an email or something and said, get ready for your life to change because we're putting your book under the microscope. And that was true from everything I've seen. You know, that guy's able to have like a independent comic book career because those guys showed his work. Yeah, I love that Death of Power, you know what I mean? And so this might sound really egotistical on my part, but I've got a little bit of an audience. And so I've had people, you know, ask me to share their books and, you know, they send me a copy and I'm kind of glad to show it on my channel. If it pushes anybody towards, you know, someone else's new stuff, it's what I would want, you know. It would be amazing to have somebody be like, hey, go check out this person's stuff. And, you know, you have a bit of a following, and so you get more eyes on it than you ever would on your own. So that's one of the reasons I enjoy doing independent comic reviews, because it means a lot to me to be able to, even just a teeny tiny bit, move the needle for someone else. And maybe as I go on, I'll be able to, you know, if I keep up what I'm doing, I'll be able to do it more so. Dude, D-Man, Fatal J was just in here in the conversation 15 minutes ago. Him and I were chatting up. I like that guy. He's a very energetic man. He helped me out with the stuff a little bit ago, a couple months ago, when I was trying to figure out some stuff with my channel. I hit him up, and he's like, yeah, man, I'll tell you how to do this. He's a really cool guy. Yeah, the indie books, Adam. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're just... And I've got some of my, what I feel are my personal favorites. You know, some are, you know, personally more interesting than others. My buddy Saul Haberfield, who does that book Beyond the Void, he's done 2 issues. And it's just one of my favorite new comics ever. Like, he's so damn good. I'm always like, dude, when's the next one? When's the next one? He's trying to get issue 3 done. I will push the shit out of his book for free forever, you know. And not, I mean, I say for free as if I don't do it for free, but I mean, like, he won't even have to ask me. I'll be like, send me the book, and I will dedicate an entire, you know, video to showing off your book and linking your stuff. Believe me, no one pays me to do anything, but... I get all the hot girls that are my friends with, and they pose with your comic. Boom. I mean, Bobby comes with me to the comic conventions, and I told her, I said, I need a booth, babe. I need a hot girl, so please wear something that like shows off your tits. She's like, so you don't need me for my personality? I'm like, well, I mean, secondary. But let's be real. She's like, fuck you. I'm like, you love me, whatever, let's go. She's like, all right, let's go. You're right. So... And Jessica would be there. She'd love to be there with me, and she's cute as fuck. But, you know, she's a married woman, and she's got children and shit doesn't work out that way. Yeah, D-Man, you know, it's good that, you know, you've got a couple people kind of find you on your channel. I hope so. And she vomits a lot. That's what she told me. I'm like, oh, we should do a live stream anyway. And then if you happen to vomit live on the stream, that just, it's another first. You know? To appeal to as many crazy internet people as you can. It's true. I have ran into a new kind of thing that some people are doing that annoys the shit out of me, but I don't know how to mention it to them. Is like, I get people linking me on social media, like on Instagram, every time they post up some damn thing. Like they tag me with them. And I'm like, I don't know what you expect me to do with being tagged in this, but if it's like, because you feel like I've got a growing voice, and so you're kind of trying to latch onto that. I mean, I guess I get it, and I don't want to be mean to anybody, but it does get kind of obnoxious when I get tagged in shit on Instagram 6-7 times a day. Yeah, oh yeah, Nate, and some of you guys I consider my homies. Some of you are, as far as I'm concerned, like my little internet crew. You know who you are. Nate, D-Man, Gayton, Domowitz, who doesn't get to show up here too often, but he's part of that. Kevin. And that's all fine, and I'm kind of glad when the people that I know, but it's like random people who I don't know. I don't know. It's a little aggravating. Yeah, and I've thought about that, someone saying, but I don't want to turn off notifications. I mean, for everybody, it's just, I mean, I haven't tried to look into it yet to see if there's like a way to shut them off. I did have to block somebody on Instagram permanently because he started getting a little snarky politically, and I'm like, I ain't going to sit here and listen to this. I don't want that shit in my feed, but I'm just going to not listen to what they've got to say. Is it Kari Andrews? Kare? I've never known exactly how to say that guy's name, but I just assumed it's Kari. Am I saying that wrong? Oh yeah, Kevin, you're 100% in that crew, man. You've made me laugh so many times, like if I was a chick, I'd be coming over to your house in the middle of the night to get the hookup, because if you can make me laugh, I will tap that ass. Is that a phrase? Can that be a phrase? Can I make that into a t-shirt? For those of you who were around the other day, remember I was busting out those recent issues of Savage Dragon I bought that had that very, very, very adult content in it? Yeah, YouTube age restricted my video after that, which I shouldn't be surprised. I just wonder how their algorithm is able to pick that up. But they're like, we've detected content we think is not suitable for younger viewers. I'm like, oh, Savage Dragon is so adult in its certain aspects now that it gets age restricted. I had a good chuckle at that. Yeah, D-Man Liefeld would never address me for any reason unless he found out that I made videos that was talking shit on him. But I think he's gotten to the point now where he's smart enough to not bother saying anything, because all it would do is send attention my way. So he just doesn't even get involved. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Gaten? I was really surprised. I mean, like, unless there's certain words that we use, when talking about it. If I said something like I probably did, like, look at all this jizz falling out of this girl's snatch, does YouTube's AI algorithm pick up on that and be like, we should probably restrict this? But, I mean, I got a couple issues of Penthouse Comics with art by Kevin Nolan, Adam Hughes, Jason Pearson, and I want to put them on the channel, and I will, but I'm sure they're going to be blocked instantly unless I, like, put yellow post-it notes over all the titties and vaginas and shit, but I really want to show off this stuff. You know what's stupid? The most recent videos that I put up, the Ministry of Space got flagged and said, like, restricted content and both issues of Ghost. And so then I hit a button on the thing once they tell me that it's flagged, that where I request a human review, and they both came back pretty quickly as safe for all audiences. But I'm like, what in the fuck was going on in Ministry of Space, that Warren Ellis comic about the alternate future where England wins the space race, that they felt like they had to flag it based on just the AI picking up words? But yeah, it is kind of weird to see Kevin Nolan drawing a long, gangly, naked girl, and it's supposed to be hot and sexy, and it's kind of not. It's kind of creepy. Y'all want to see it? I think I've got it sitting right here with me. Let's see. Oh, this is the one with McGuire, Soydam, Nolan, Hughes, Beecham, and Carragone. It was funny to see Adam Hughes. Not funny, but like Adam Hughes is known for drawing sexy shit, but I've never seen him draw naked figures. But he did that in these. Not too many of them, but you know, Adam Hughes is just too damn good. There's Adam Hughes drawing people getting it on. It says boink, 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 boink. And then Story and Art by Arthur Suydam, Suydam. I've got some of the old heavy metal stuff. I got my hands on a couple issues. I did a review on one of them, and I was incredibly lucky because I got a book that had that Alfonso Aspiri, or Aspiri, however you say his name. He's like this Italian guy. This artist right here. And then this random issue of this Penthouse Comics that I picked up has a story by that artist that I was first introduced to in heavy metal comics years ago, and I was just blown away by his art. I just randomly get another issue with this guy's stuff in it. He's not even listed on the cover. He must have not been a big name yet at this point, because this is from 1994. Yeah, where's Frank Cho? He'd make great comics like these. But this artist is so good. His coloring, he does it all. He does the drawing, the coloring, the painting. It's this cartoony vibe. I mean, it's a little adult. Anyway, that was good. And then, yeah, here we go. Here's artist, letters, colors. Kevin Nolan. He does everything in this. And it looks like good, classic Kevin Nolan stuff. But, like, he is who he is. This chick looks kind of like an alien. Love that shadowed face there, though. That looks really good. And his placement of shadows and lighting and everything are just great. This one was kind of alright, no big deal, nothing exciting, kind of boring. And then of course it gets into this guy whose art he's obviously clearly extremely talented, but Mark Beecham, where everything is a hyper-focused arrow pointing down to a certain part of female anatomy, like it's just pointing at it. And it's too much for me. I don't care for it. I like sexy, but it's just too gross. And not gross, it's just, I don't like it. That's all I can say. When there's that hyper focus. I mean, look at that right there. Look at that content. So anyway, it's like I want to spotlight these things, but I'm gonna have to decide how I want to do that. Of course, you can never go wrong with the Frazetta painting. God, I can't. Anyway, that's that. I should be really focusing on my own damn art. Yeah, I am awesome. You're right. That is what I've thought. He's like Sinkovich, but raunchy. Yeah, and it just goes a little bit farther. Like like I've said, I'm all about sexy and erotica, but to a certain level. When it gets weirdly like fetishy, creepy, weird, I'm kind of out. Antoine Dennison. I would actually take Greg Land's over Mark Beecham's art. If I can be for real with you. One of these days I'll do some Greg Land stuff. Someone's saying you need background inspiration for the image you're doing for me. Weren't they in like a castle dungeon BDSM kind of shit? And Tila was tied up, and Skeletor was gonna do inappropriate things to her, talking about naughty shit. I'm exaggerating, guys. Someone's saying doesn't do stuff like that I'm aware of. Oh, more throne room. There you go. I don't know. Someone's saying I'd have to look at it again, because I just basically remember the figure of Tila and then the other figures in the background. And if there's a lot of kind of empty space for background in between the figures, it's just kind of like the only thing you can put there is what the environment is, and unless you want to put them surrounded by fire and smoke and obscure shit that way, which is always a cheap but effective way to get out of drawing a lot of weird nonsense in the backgrounds. Oh, how do you get all in? I'd have to kind of look at it, but Chad Leninger, How's it going? Leininger? Leininger? Leininger. Leininger. Got it. I'll probably forget it by the next time you stop in and chat. So just call me out on it straight up. But
Bring your home to life with colorful pieces from Ashley. Discover trending views and styles starting at $4.99.
yeah, Shamalama Ding Dong. That I can't think of the name of it. The one with Bruce Willis, that was great. Well, both of them. The Sixth Sense, that was good. Unbreakable was good. I actually never saw that third Unbreakable. I know there was that second one that was like a secret Unbreakable trilogy, or sequel rather. I heard it was good, but I never did watch that. Oh, and the one he did with like the alien invasion one with Mel Gibson, that's a fucking great movie. I love that one. But he knows how to build tension. I don't know why he can't pull it together and make something awesome. I don't know what the problem is. Signs, yeah, leaning, yeah. I think it was called Glass. Someone saying, yeah, that's my. Well, that's the third one, right? I kind of want to watch it just to see what happened in the story, but I remember going to see that movie having no idea about anything. Unbreakable, and it starts out with like a description of the sales of comic books and this, that, the other. I'm like, what does this have to do with this movie? Then by the end, when it all came together, I'm like, oh, now I get it. I heard someone once say it's like what he was trying to do was make feature-length, like Twilight Zone movies, which I think is a admirable idea. But if you can't fucking pull that stuff off, you keep making stuff that's so stupid. It's like you got to run this by some other people and be like, this is dumb. What was the name of that one movie with the water and the author? And I never saw it. I just had a buddy of mine tell me that he went to see it. He said people were literally laughing in the theater when like the reveal happened. It was that stupid. So I'm just like, oh, well, I guess I'll never watch that one. Oh, see, there you go. Lady in the Water. That's the one, right? I never saw it. I just heard it was atrocious, but I don't know. I've never seen it. It's a good point, someone saying. It's a very solid point. Once you realize like that's his gimmick, you're like, what's going to be the weird thing? What's going to be the gag? That's funny you mentioned there's a guy in that movie who has one huge arm, and I'm actually drawing the one character, Strong Arm, that has one huge arm. Unless that was like the intended joke and I'm just missing the point. Kevin, it's either he's swinging for the fences. It's either a huge friggin' mess or an absolute home run. Kind of like that guy in Signs, Joaquin Phoenix. He's always swinging. Even when he shouldn't, he kept swinging out and missing. He's like, it felt wrong not to swing. I wonder if there's something to that. It's just a coincidence, right?
Go to motionrain.com to add this to your video. And that.
Yeah, Mike Mignola is just. I actually rewatched earlier today, the cartoonist kayfabe guys reviewing the Wolverine Jungle Adventure that Mike Mignola did, which might have been the first thing I ever saw of him. And I own it. I've got it sitting around here somewhere. And I always thought that I kind of like, I couldn't quite get into Mignola's artwork on that one, but man, watching that video, I just had a whole new perspective on how damn good it was. It's still not like peak mature Mike Mignola, but the shit that he knew how to do is unbelievable. And it inspired me. I'm like, God damn it. Now I gotta go draw. Kevin, the guy with the regular arm is the winner. All the other guys with big giant arms didn't turn out the way we thought, did it? That's funny. Yeah, he's great at separating stuff into layers. 100%. I've said that about his stuff. His compositions are just first rate. So now I want to review that Jungle Adventure. I'm not sure where my copy is, so I gotta go digging for it, which is not what I want to do, because I'm lazy. Oh, Adam? I mean, what I'm doing is I'm ending the book with big splash pages of the main characters, and there's going to be text boxes explaining in briefly, just a couple of lines, this character is doing this, he learned this, and now he is this. So we get like kind of a brief wrap up of each character. Trapjaw, Strong Arm, gonna have Jitsu and Shira, and then we're gonna have a big splash page of all of them, like a team shot, and then the book's done art wise. Yeah, a little epilogue for each character. Antoine, you bought the oversized Bram Stoker's Dracula by Mignola, and one of the best film. Yeah, I love that book. I've got like a black and white, the black and white version of it, and the full color regular version. I wanted that comic for years. I could never ever ever find it anywhere, and I finally got like the black and white version and the colored version, like just this last year. Yeah, Kevin, I'm listening to the soundtrack to that movie, The Devil's Advocate, with Keanu Reeves and what's his fucking name? Not De Niro, but Al Pacino. There we go. Yeah, Charlize Theron. That's the first time I ever saw her, and at the time I was like, is there ever been a more beautiful woman in humanity than her? Like, at the time, I was like, what the fuck is this? A woman cannot be that beautiful. And it was all in her face, her smile, her personality, her vibe. God damn, was she just... And she still kind of is. I mean, I'm just too good for her now. That's the problem. She would throw herself at me, and I would just have to tell her to get lost. I can do better than her. It's a little joke. Yeah, Kevin, you were mentioning like Nim, Secret of Nim. Yeah, that is one of my favorite animated shows of all time. It's like they made a cartoon, but they did not make that shit for kids. That is not a show for like 4-year-olds. That is some dark, scary, I don't want to say adult, but there's no way anybody would make a cartoon like that for kids these days. That's definitely a cartoon made by adults for, you know, not children. And I love it. Alright, got the roughs for that one. Oh yeah, it 100% holds up. When you see that old traditional hand-drawn animation, I swear in a way it feels like you're watching a live-action comic book. Like it's moving art made by someone's hand rather than processed through a computer. Chad, you turned Nim on for your 3-year-old. He did make it past the opening. Was it because he was scared or because he was bored? Scared of Nicodemus? Yeah. Remember the artistry in the opening of that movie where Nicodemus is writing in that journal? He's got that magical fountain pen and he dips it in like the glowing, flowing ink and he'd write, but it wouldn't show on the paper for like a second or two, and then the text would burn its way into the text in glowing letters. I'm like, what a freaking awesome, beautiful way of doing that. It was so damn neat. Yeah, Antoine, the old stuff feels slow. It does feel slow. And so it gives, you know, the opportunity to like build up tension and stuff like that. I think, you know, kids these days are not used to that. I loved it because it's a slow burn a little bit. I always wondered though, they never did explain what the that little amulet thing is, whatever it was called. And it's this little tiny thing, like the rats held it in their hand like we would, like a pendant that we would wear around our neck. But when it's rat-sized, it's the size of like a pebble or, you know, and what is this glowing red magical crystal that can move things with your mind? Like, what the fuck was it ever? Oh, Chad, because I've read the books, but I haven't read them since I was a kid. So I did not remember that. Because I remember Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. And then there was like a sequel where the rats moved out into the forest or something like that. I didn't know that. Because like I said, I'd read it, but it's been so long. I was probably in 5th grade or some shit. Mrs. Frisbee. Right. Did they change the name to Brisbee in the cartoon? Brisbee, yeah. Oh well, I guess if I wrote a book and they had to change a letter for the name of one of the characters and that was the only compromise I had to make, I'd probably be okay with it. Considering, you know, studios buy up properties all the time and then the stipulations are they can change it any fucking way they want to. And if you don't like it, then you don't get a contract. So if it ends up looking anything like what your work was, you know, originally resembled. Never heard of Scavenger's Reign. Yeah, Chad, if I got the right paycheck, the guy that got sold Men in Black got screwed. I kind of remember hearing that. He didn't get a great deal, right? Like, the work didn't really resemble his stuff, but then he probably also didn't get much of a cut of the massive success profits. American Pop, very underrated animated film. Yeah, that's another one I've never heard of. Antoine, have you ever watched Rock and Rule? Negative. I've seen that Wizards from Ralph Bakshi. That was so weird. My young brain could not comprehend what the hell was going on. I'm like, what? I think my brain was going to fall out of my skull. I just could not understand what was going on. Oh, Kevin, that makes sense. Men in Black coming out, X-Files, conspiracies, aliens, that would make sense. That first Men in Black's a damn good show. Tommy Lee Jones is awesome. Your mom took you to see Flashdance? She's a maniac. Nate, I haven't watched the new Batman. I've heard people say it's amazing. I've heard people say it's kind of middle of the road. I just don't know how much of a new Batman animated series I'm interested in starting again. I don't know if I care. So I haven't sought it out. Excuse me. That's funny, Chad. Mom wants to go see it. Come on, kids. You'll probably not like this movie. And then you end up being, I actually liked a lot about that, Mom. Can we go back? I have no interest in that Sandman series personally, so I will not be watching it.
Ready? Grab your guitar, get musician, let's play.
Nate, you want to watch the Schwarzenegger Conan? Schwarzenegger's like telling Crom, he's like, to hell with you. That would be a fun one. That's another long, slow burn movie. Yeah, I Am Awesome. I think the second Conan, the Schwarzenegger Conan movie, is a little bit funner. The first one, I'd only seen the second one forever. And then I finally watched the first one, and it felt like much closer to what I feel like the old comics and stories would be like. Not maybe not exactly correct, but much closer to being accurate to what they should have been. Yeah, I've heard about, Schwarzenegger's wanted to do that one, but he's about 150 years old, and what kind of Conan. There is a version of a movie I would like to see where it is Conan, but he's old, old, old. And so, how does he handle situations as an old man? You'd have to put some other characters around him to help him handle some of the bigger shit, but that requires thought that Hollywood's not willing to put in. We can horse roid him back into shape. Oh my god. You know what? I loved Balboa. Those Rocky movies are really damn good. And that was a great way to bring back a legacy character and show him the respect that he deserved. Yeah. Do another fan comic, but a boxing comic? How about like a martial arts fighting movie, like Bloodsport or some shit? Yeah, Van Damme, Bloodsport era. I mean, he was legitimately like impressive to watch. And Bloodsport's his best movie. Man, fuck my brother on layouts. Nate's trying to start some shit, and I respect it. Oh, thanks. I am awesome. You say, by the way, Rob, that pic is turning out badass. It's so cool to see the process. Can you imagine artists being able to do this 50 to 60 years ago? Yeah, I didn't really know what I wanted to do with this one because I had ideas for the other two. That's why they kind of came out so fast, and I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with Jitsu here. So I just kind of sat down not knowing what pose was going to come out, but I'm like, all right, I think I got what I want, like, him to be doing here. So gonna have the liquid metal weapon kind of coiling around his hands. Well, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. The feet are legitimately off panel. All the emotion is captured in the feet. Another childhood animation that still slaps is Watership Down. I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever heard of that, or I've never seen it. Not a kid's movie. Nate's like, play it for your kids. Bernie writes in backgrounds, right? Yeah. Yeah, Nate, I liked your Witchblade, but it had a distinct lack of exposed titties. So, I subtract some points for that. I know that we never saw her actually topless in the comics, but that's bullshit that you didn't do it. Kind of disappointed in you as a man and an Australian. I thought in Australia you had some balls. Oh, I Am Awesome. I've listened to the Bram Stoker's Dracula soundtrack since the movie came out. I've listened to that thing 1,000 times. It's so good. That composer, I don't know, it's like a Polish name or something like that. It's unpronounceable to my uncultured ass. The thing that's hard about this Jitsu character is he was kind of not well received because he was such a Asian stereotype, like the top knot and the long Fu Manchu mustache, and I'm like, but I have to keep it accurate. I mean, I guess I don't have to. I choose to. So, if people don't like it, they could suck a dick until they're blue in the face. I'm doing it. Fu Manchu. I've never, you know what, Chad? I've never actually even seen the animated Jungle Book. So I actually have no idea what it's like. That sounds kind of epic. Oh yeah, Kevin. I think we've talked about that before. Um, the whole there's a white guy doing the voice of Apu in The Simpsons, so we get rid of that voice act, or the actor doesn't voice it anymore. So now the character's not in the cartoon anymore. Everyone's so fucking stupid. Yeah, Apu was like a family man. He was wealthy. He had tons of children. He was essentially a good man. They're like, get rid of him. If you don't have a man of Indian descent doing the voice, you can't do it. It's only been 30 years. Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Yeah, the immigrant that achieved the American dream. Can't have that. Thank you. Come again. The name Nahasapamapina Pedalon. Trying to find some inspiration for the next thing I need to do. I swear I follow all these hot girls on Instagram for art reference. I swear. But is this like one of the hottest chicks I've ever seen in my life? Yes, also yes. Good Jesus Lord. Red hair. Thick ass. Right. But then I found this other chick, but I'm like, this is good. This girl's got the most perfect, like, muscular female body I've ever seen in the history of ever. So, because I'm looking for reference for the She-Ra drawing now. Yeah, right. I am awesome. There's too many hot girls, and I'm too old. That's what Instagram is for. It's all art reference. Flipping, scrolling, looking for just this one right pose. Like this chick right here, like the shadows on her lower body, the tummy, the shape of the hips, the thighs. I'm like, good Jesus God. And then she's got long dark hair. I'm kind of like, well, I think I'm a fan. I'll be in my bunk. I know there's one in here. Chad, I have the martial arts chick with the staff that's flipping it around like at 1,000,000,000 miles per hour. Yeah. I'm looking for a reference, Byron. I'm looking for a reference, and that is legitimately true. I guess I don't necessarily have to share it with everybody, but I am. I'm not finding. That, Kevin, is a private folder marked oiled up ripped bros do not open. Let's see. Scrolling. Got to keep on scrolling. Oh, this was one. Maybe. Can't remember how to screenshot on this phone. Yeah, this chick. Like tattoos and dark hair and rocker chick and studded belts, and she rides a motorcycle and she dresses up like Catwoman and she lifts weights and Jesus Christ. Chad, I'm not in it for the conversation, right? I don't need to talk to these 25-year-olds. Old lean beef patty, she's always good for like frickin' anatomical reference. Jesus Lord, look at that girl's tummy. How about this chick? That's a washboard, baby, right? Anybody ever watch those My 600 Pound Life? Good Lord. All right. Want to see something epic? Watch what this chick can do. Like, let me start it over. She just does a handstand, angles straight out, and then just walks her ass down, and then pivots under. That is ridiculous. Stop it. That was not AI chat. If that's what if you're talking to me, I know there's. I guess I should be sure. There's a lot of conversations going on. I'm not keeping up with. Still looking for the right reference. It's not just an excuse to scroll frickin' Instagram. I promise. Who remembers this ditty?
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a key or two, anything with a swing it to. And I love you, I love what you sing. Oh, sugar, it's you with the lady.
I used to love that shit as a kid. And that shit came out in 1939. That is old. It was old when I found it as a kid. I found the right one. Stream ends. There'll be streams. Get it? God, I'm just gonna have to fake this shit. Do. Yeah, Chad, crazy. Those old Looney Tunes came out that far back. Yeah, I remember growing up watching just like those old Warner Brothers shits, like the Roadrunner and Coyote and all that shit. And then I was shocked when I found out that they were made in the 50s. Like the old, what is it, Chuck Jones stuff. I'm like, my dad was watching these as a child. And they're still funny then, and they're still funny today. Remember the Robin Hood one with Daffy Duck as Robin Hood, and the Porky Pig was the Friar Tuck. And Friar Tuck just did not believe that this fucking stupid duck was Robin Hood. And after watching Robin Hood fail all these times and Porky Pig's just not buying it, he walks up to Daffy and he says, "Oh, prithee, oh traveling clown, can you tell me where I can find Robin Hood?" Dude, it's the funniest line to this day. Whoa. Pepe Le Pew is a little forceful. Anyone ever see that Dave Chappelle bit where he was talking about this? He's like, "All right, I'm gonna show my nephew Pepe Le Pew. He'll love this." And I was like, "God damn, Pepe, little fucking rapist skunk, calm it down." And he's like, and my little cousin was like, "See, Daddy, sometimes they gotta take the pussy." It was. Cannot find. Pepe was just French. That's how they all are. It's French. It's just, how is it? Oh, now I want to watch some Pepe Le Pew. It's been a million years. That guy was... He forced himself on that poor cat, though. Remember the episode where he was outside of a glass wall? The cat got itself secured in some kind of like room with a glass wall, and Pepe was like demanding, like pointing, because you couldn't hear him. But he like pointed at the floor, like, you get out here beside me. And so she told him no and explained to him that he stank. So he got out a gun and put it to his head and walked off screen and fired. And so she goes charging out to see if he killed himself, and he just played the part. They would never put that shit in a TV show today for kids. Holy shit. Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century. Son of a bitch. Now I'm just wasting time. Now I want to watch Pepe. Y'all talk me into it. I gotta find the best of. Le yipe. I do not remember this one at all.
Mademoiselle Kitty, do not follow me. You have served your purpose.
Jesus, straight to jail. Lemew. Lemew.
Ah, une petite femme skunk.
Guess who? It is me. Ou peut-être donnez-moi, permit me to introduce you myself. I am Pepe Le Pew, your lover. So impetuous, but nice. You know, it is not just a case of physical attraction. I admire her mind, too.
ridiculous and so good. Kids would not get it. Les skunks les pew. Alouette, gentil alouette, alouette, gentil bleu. You know, Pepe is French, but he seems more Latin. Do. I don't know what to do. Which version of Gomez, Byron? I gotta tell you, when I think of the Addams Family and Gomez, there's only one that I care about, and obviously it's the one I kind of grew up with. But I learned to just freaking love Raul Julia. He is just so perfect. Good form, old man. I've never seen the old black and white show. I should check it out. Grace! How the hell are you? We were just discussing the finer points of old school animation. Grace, you've got to be up late. I mean, I know it's a Saturday night, but still. It's 12:17. It's 10:17 where I'm at. So. Eating glue. I hope not. Because that would make you weirder than you already are. Well, you can bite on a glue stick all you want, just don't swallow. Bada bum bum bum. I should, Byron. I should do a big, giant, weird-looking, Rob Liefeld-like, insane chest thing. I just can't bring myself to do it. But I am going to draw a Mark Silvestri-like, shall we say, front piece on this female character. Or at least do my best approximation. Grace, I'm sure your haircut looks wonderful. Don't listen to the chuckleheads. Probably not, Grace. Oh yeah, Byron, thanks. Yeah, that thing. God damn, that reminds me. I got to record a video for tomorrow. Son of a bitch. This here. Facial structure reference engaged. Grace, are you asking who's Mark Silvestri in the chat, or are you asking who's this picture on the thing that I'm referencing? Tyraz, I haven't had a chance to find a copy of the new Witchblade. I'm kind of curious, but no, I have not seen it. This is some chick from Instagram. Ellie Marie is her name. She's like a bodybuilder, fitness, something, something. And this picture, this angle of her face and her hair, I thought was going to be perfect reference for something, so snagged it. Yeah, Grace, I would agree with you. She certainly is. Which is why, I mean, like, I find pictures of faces and I save them for reference, like that one right there, the facial structure, and then the shape of the hair, like, it's just too perfect. Or like that one again, the dark hair, you get the highlights, the shadow, and great eyes, nose, mouth. It's all like reference material. Or I'll have a friend come over and I'll take pictures of her for photo reference, and we do that. It's another example. Good facial structure and hair and everything. When are you gonna post up your work there, Ms. Grace? I do follow you on YouTube. I heard you talking about these things. I'm kind of curious. I always like to see other people's art. Well, we all start from somewhere, Grace. Byron, you only draw from like L magazine models. You don't mess with that low class Instagram tramps. Brutal, dude. Brutal. Well, I've done 4. We got Shira. We got the rough of Jitsu there. The Ruff of Strong Arm. And Trap Jaw. I figured you were kidding, Byron. They can't hurt you anymore. Guys, I think I need to shut it down because I've been going for 2 hours, and it just occurred to me again that I haven't recorded anything for tomorrow. So I better get on that before the night gets away from me completely. So yeah, everyone that's here, Byron, Antoine, D-Man, Kevin, Tyrez, Grace, anyone else, Chad. Yeah, thanks guys, I appreciate it. I got the 4 roughs done, 2 hours with, looking at comics and Pepe Le Pew and shit. I'm awesome, thank you. Yeah, I could start inking these. I'm getting real close. Yeah, Grace, do that. That'd be awesome to see. Thank you.